Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney. Last time, remember, we've actually finished the third case in 3 ways, and basically, it was a bit of a chore to get it done, but we've got it done. So now, what we're going to do is we're actually going in order on how I fared out. Meaning, I'm going to start with 4C, 4A, and then finally 4B. So we're going to go load up our save data like so. And as you can tell, 4C has a total of 7 days, whereas 4A has 5 days, and 4B has, 9 days. So we're actually going to pick up where we last left off with 4C, namely with our boys being captured, like so. Because as you see, they start a week apart. Like this is one day, the next day, and then Valentine's Day. So we got 3 February cases. So let's start off with, quote unquote, the bad ending of the game. Starting off with 4C, February 9th. Falcon and Sparrowson are escorted to Le Canard Joyeux. You can come out now, brother. How'd it go? Better than we had hoped for. The rooster's dead and the madame has tasted her first blood. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A meddlesome Falcon tried to disrupt the execution. Falcon? Really? That tenuous wretch? Don't worry. He floundered and bumbled around hopelessly. The madame thinks that he's some use, but really, he's as good as dead. This is marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time at all. To reason, brother. To reason! Act 4C, Fraternité. The silence is pretty stiff now, isn't it? Hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madame. I know that the rooster was your friend, but the madame does what she does for the good of France. Oh boy, this is awkward! It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say? Wine sounds good. I'll take a wine. Make sure it's a stiff one. I'll take 2. Very well. Piero, fetch our guest some drinks. It's your own. Moro! No way! It's your turn! Turns don't matter. You still owe me for the omelette I generously paid for last Friday. Yeah, well, you owe me for that coffee on Tuesday! Okay, so that's 30 cents of coffee deducted from a 60-cent omelette. plus the 25-cent peanuts you swiped from my pantry. Although I ain't so good with mental arithmetic. Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go. Go? Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. She's such a good idea. If we all stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub that lioness the wrong way. If we both run, those two will probably shoot us in the box. The way I see it, one of us running is the most vulnerable option. Falcon, don't argue. Once you're out, find Volerti and tell him what you've seen. Okay. So it's great. You get this round and I owe you 2 cents. Yup, I'll hold you to them 2 cents. Be right back. Don't you two move or nothing. He'll hold me to 2 cents. And Piero's such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time. Keep 'em talking. Fontaine, I have a gun question. A gun question? Do go on. Flintlock or percussion caps? What's better, flintlock or percussion cap ignition systems? What a delightful technical question, but I'm afraid there's no dispute here. Percussion caps are the future hands down. You see, flintlocks are unreliable. A little light drizzle and the ignition system no longer functions. The gun becomes worthless. But a percussion cap would always work, and as long as it's built correctly, and as long as the gun has enough gunpowder, I suppose there's the cost of material. I suppose there's a matter of material cost. How much does a brass cap compare to flint and steel? It's a little pricey, I think. Alright, I bought drinks. 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for you, and 1 for... Hey, where's the little one? The little one? He's right... Oh, Mary, I lost him. You lost him? How'd you lose him? I was gone for 2 minutes! I think I dropped the ball on this one. I'll say the Madam's gonna string us up for sure. Actually, we should make up a couple stories. Can't let her find out about this. You can't let me find out about what? The last version was great. Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here weren't paying attention and let Sparrowson walk casually away. Madame! What you can explain? I swear, I'll give you 2 bells as 1 damn jump. Doesn't matter. The little bird was dispensable for our plans, but Falcon isn't. What's important is that he's still here. Madame, if Sparrowson runs to the police in both this location and the Sleeping City are compromised, we should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we're planning to form a protest, an enormous protest on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Place de la Concorde, and then we shall march across the Tuileries Garden. A march across Tuileries? You intend to storm the Louvre? No, the Palais Royal. That's where the King and Prime Minister will be residing. I would like it to go peacefully, but peaceful uprisings have a habit of turning violent, don't they? See the LA riots. Exactly. And we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want me to prosecute the King of France? The King and the Prime Minister, they're both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of those overpaid bourgeois onto the streets, and you shall prosecute them then and there. I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. So it could certainly be done. If I were to interview a law assistant, scatter a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There's no alternative. The wheels of revolution are already turning, and a revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what do we do with you until then? You can leave him, Mom. We'll keep it going on. After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird, I think not. I'll just have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend this week at my side while I complete our preparations. At your side? All day and night? Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute. That seems excessive. You can trust me, madame. No, I can't. You promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you 1 grain of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon. A new day. So we now have the Royal Palace, Les Mognons, Les Halles, and Tuileries. Let us go to here. Les Mognons. And then, while we were sitting in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. Created distraction, and I sneaked away and went straight to the police. Then you call me, and, well, yeah, I am. So, yeah, that's the whole story. I see. So Severin Coquerico died at the hands of the rebels. That's right! And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor. Traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he can save his own life. Don't be so naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see that you weren't truly sympathetic to the rebel cause. That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never shown a rebellious streak. Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past? Not a lot. He's a private person. Has he ever told you what he did during the July Revolution? Before he changed his name? No, he hasn't told me anything, really. Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they call the Viridian Killer. Sounds like Verona Kenshin, doesn't it? And now we go to Palais Royal. The Palais Royal. Just look at that disgusting den of fat cat bourgeois and hypocritical politicians. The king is probably in there as we speak. Probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Did you come here just to moan about the king? No, I've come to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There? Right outside the Palais Royal? Of course. It's the perfect place for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, 'twill serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace. So, you weren't just throwing empty words in the tavern. You actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course, he'll never abdicate on his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There is no way to bring change to a country without using violence, is there? I think there are ways. I think there are ways. People look back on the violent moments of history. The executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned just through the chance of the people? A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. Happened with Martin Luther King Jr. Maybe. It would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least, until it's clear that violence is inevitable. That's good. That's a good compromise, madame. Next day, we go to the halls. The halls, huh? Let me guess. UFO weapon supplies somewhere around here. Or maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It's as good a spot as any. It's as good as a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think that just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't need to buy food? Who is it? If it isn't Sultan and Leah Gambad. You're growing bigger every time I see you. Mom, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. Policeman! That's like a policeman! Let me guess, he was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries? Well, that's how it started, Mom. Same old bullying tactics. Pushing around this old beggar, right, who hangs around the market sometimes. But then, when the rat wasn't speaking up, policeman drew his gun and shot him. The policeman shot the beggar just like that. Yep. But then the coward cop went around before we could turn on him. I find this difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause. Oh, you don't know. Some police are as corrupted as filth. Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Almost like present day. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No. This can't be right. Something has to be missing from Sultan's story. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, madame? Sure, ask away. Make it quick, Falcon. was the rat? Just who was this beggar rat?
I didn't really know him well, Monsieur. Never seen. He's kind of a loner who hanging around asking for scraps of food, and since I don't even know his name.
That's so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support? Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are on the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I'm well aware, madame. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears that this was just the loss of one unnamed beggar rat among many. It's tragic.
That it is, Monsieur. Is there any way that I can help?
Okay, well, what did this policeman look like? What did the policeman look like?
Well, I didn't get a good look, but he was tall and ugly, be looking at his. Yeah, one eye!
One eye?
Yep, had one in powder patches.
There's no way.
Ring any bells, Falcon?
I know a man who fits the description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he's morally righteous. Can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly.
Don't let your bias toward the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon.
If you think you know who did this, please name and shame him. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain.
Did you want to know anything? Did you want to know anything else? Did you want to know anything else, Monsieur?
Did nobody investigate the shooting? If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation.
Your naivete knows no bounds, Falcon.
You think the police care if one of their own is out of control?
Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think he was a policeman.
Oh? Go on, madame.
He was this charming fox.
Renard.
Friend of yours, Falcon?
Something like that. We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to.
Paying him a visit. I suppose we can set aside a little time. Did you want something else?
That's all, madame. Thanks for all your help.
No problem. Anything to help, madame. Beaumont.
We'll try to get to the bottom of this, Sultan. Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep Canard safe.
Of course, Mom. You stay safe yourself, you hear?
A new day. In that case, let's go to R&M Associates.
Visitors, Monsieur Lopez, visitors!
I'm sorry, wrong voice.
What's the line, Monsieur Lopez, visitors?
Really, Falcon, what do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment? Sleazy? Madame, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the accusation of sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Lopez, this is Madame Beaumont, a friend of mine. Madame, this is Renard Lopez, private investigator at your service. 'Tis a pleasure to meet you, madame. Oh, how stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing question to ask, Falcon, but before we get started, there's something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier and informed me of your situation. Sparrowson, is all right? Oh yes, he's now working with Inspector Volerti, attempting to unravel the rebel plot. Just as I thought. It appears your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon. Perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology. But, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. Pay it. Yeah, I know how this works. Here's your money, monsieur. Very good, so on to the question. Sparrowson asked if you were the Viridian killer. The one responsible for the random bombings during the July Revolution 18 years ago. Why on earth would he ask that? Perhaps the inspector had been telling him stories. So, what did you tell him? The truth, of course. That is, I've no idea who the Viridian killer is, but that I knew that it couldn't possibly be Falcon. Oh, and how do you know that I'm not the Viridian killer? Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk, bumbling oaf and not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian killer. Fascinating stuff, really. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, which leads some to believe that he was actually more than one person. And do you know why they call him, or should I say them, the Viridian killer? Viridian is a greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would be a much cooler name. It appears that no one knows the origins of the name, which leads me to suspect that he, or indeed they, chose their own name. This is all fascinating, truly fascinating, but perhaps we can return the conversation to why we're here. Of course, Monsieur Vopes, we heard that you were investigating the murder at Le Hause. I was. That victim was a friend of Mouse's.
Of acquaintance, really?
Well, we want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads, any juicy clues? Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Did you hear that the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed one person, who wears an eye patch. You mean Juste Volerti? The inspector. But that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Vopes? That is, I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian killer. Who's to say that he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his arch enemy? Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we've other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Vopes. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. 'Twas a pleasure meeting you, madame.
Monsieur Vopes. I know it's pretty angry. Is the revelation going to imply Monsieur Vopes? Just at 10:30?
He's contemplating that. Now I'm gonna actually explain why I'm doing this in order. Because as you can tell, if you're going by, if you think about it, you're basically going by time. So in this case, 1 week before this is happening, this is what's going on. And from what I read, you're basically going February 7th through February 14th. That's where I say is the bad ending. Thus, after all this, 14th would lead into the February 14th would lead into the neutral ending where Sparrowson is looking through this case. And then we have the good ending in which everything would make sense. That, the everything that is leading to this big conflict, which is what I would call the good ending or the true ending of the entirety of the game. So therefore, it makes sense of why I'm doing the bad ending first, then the neutral, then the good ending. It all makes sense. You'll see why. So, off to Tulier's garden. Let me think. So it takes 10 minutes to walk from the Place de la Concorde to this very spot. And the Palais Royal lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly slow and but the crowd will be fairly large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having logistics problem, madame? Perhaps. The plan is to walk the crowd from here through Tuileries to the Palais Royal. But if we take too long to pass through Tuileries, the police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered. That is quite an issue. Why not just go around? Why not just go around Toulouse? There's a nice wide main road that leads straight to the palace front door. You can avoid the gardens easily. Watching across the gardens makes for a better political statement. But I can't fault your reasoning. Going around would diminish our chances of being stopped and trapped. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all. That bird-brained Pat would probably just shoot the idea down, right? Probably, but I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you, Falcon. It's no problem, Madame. For the Second Republic, right? Right. For the Second Republic. And we're here on the 14th. And the last day we're going to is the Pont des Alpes. This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together as we speak. Fontaine is gathering the protesters at the Place de la Concorde. Piero is making preparations to build and arm a barricade near the Palais Royal, just as precaution, you understand. The only question that remains is, are you ready? Of course. Absolutely. Bring on the revolution, I'd say. That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how the protest is going. Falcon and Beaumont arrive at the Place de la Concorde. The air is thick with the chants, shouts, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stands shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to Tulare. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. But of course, you didn't think that we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city.
Everything's in place at the Vault Pass, Mom. Just say the one, we'll just set up the biggest barricade you ever seen. Then we can all storm the building and drag that Cookie King out of his chair.
There's been a change of plans. We're still going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister.
Madame, are you feeling all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
But what of your desire for a better France? You cannot achieve that without bloodshed.
We can certainly try. Falcon convinced me.
Falcon?
Pacifism seems like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar?
I see, so that's how it is. Excuse me, madame.
I think the father disapproves of the new strategy. He probably thinks I've gone south, and maybe I have. But I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side.
Don't worry, Mom. You aren't alone.
We're not here for the violence, madame. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you.
Ugh, this stupid bullet wound. This damn thing's open up again. What's the news, brother? Is everything in place?
We have a problem. The mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid.
Turned timid? How?
It appears that the lawyer, Falcon, is something of a lion tamer.
Jayjay Falcon. That bird is proving to be more trouble than a rooster, I swear.
Brother, listen. If there's no violence, then there will be no power gap. One leader will just peacefully replace another. We need chaos for our plan to work.
Guess we'll have to follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim, you find the suspect.
Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured.
Look at those scum. Foul vermin, the lot of them. Mark my words, Sparrowson. Every one of those petulant dissenters will take the first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence.
They don't look too violent to me.
Trust me, this is just how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazy individual and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Hey, it's you!
Friar, it's good to see you again.
No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You're needed urgently on the Place de la Concorde.
Me? Why not ask one of the officers on active guard duty?
There's no time to explain. Any minute now.
Ah, do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun.
Come on, Inspector, we must make haste.
Inspector, I really don't think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Fair Raymond has provided me with reliable information in the past. I trust his judgment.
But, Inspector!
This isn't up for discussion, Sparrowson. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
But, what should I do now?
gunshot. It was nearby, too.
So the friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability. We haven't reached that stage yet, madame. I can't afford to take chances. Not now. Piero, march the crowd to the Palais Royal and construct a barricade.
Yes, Mum.
Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance.
It came from here, Inspector. Hurry! Hurry! I'm moving as fast as these old legs would... Mon Dieu! A body! This woman must have been the target of the gunshot we just heard, but I don't see a shooter.
I think the gunshot came from over here.
Inspector?
Falcon? Well, I should have known that the Verdine killer would have had a part in this.
Inspector, I'm not...
What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl.
Madame, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. This poor innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police line with her hands in the air. When all of a sudden this brute of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart.
What is this nonsense? What are you prattling on about, friar?
Thank you for your input, Remus. It hardly surprised me that a member of the police would be the one to cast the first stone.
I think we're all being a little rash. Let's just take a breath, examine the situation, and...
Wait a moment, you wear an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector.
How observant.
Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the rat in the halls too?
The halls? What are you talking about?
Two incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim. There's no way that is a coincidence. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in oppressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector?
I really shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions. But open your damned eyes, mademoiselle. I'm not the assailant here.
Don't call me mademoiselle, or stupid for that matter. Your guilt is plain to see. Given the circumstances, I ought to judge and execute you. Right here and now.
Falcon, don't just stand there gawking. Vouch for me!
Madame, I know this man. His name is Inspector Volerti. He is ruthlessly law-abiding, so much so that I can't envision him shooting a man without just cause. Oh, shut up, Falcon. I'm done with your idealism. I listened to you, I took your words to heart about avoiding violence, and now a girl is dead. Well, I'm done taking chances. Remus, help me escort this invalid to Piero's barricade. I'll decide his fate there.
With pleasure, madame. Come along, Inspector.
Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Meet us at the barricade when you're done. There's no way this was the work of the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot, this far away from the police line, it doesn't make any sense at all. But as rebellions for you, they're messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire, and there's no reason for it. Well, there's no use, darling. Help me get the corpse off the street. Not yet. I'm going to examine the body first. Examine the body? We agree that this wasn't the work of Inspector Volerti, right? Then there might be some clues on the corpse that pointed towards what happened. An impromptu coroner's examination, eh? Fine. You've 2 minutes.
After that, we're heading to the barricade whether you're done here or not. Well... Well, for one... This is the bullet wound, right? What can you tell me about it, Fontaine? It looks like the bullet took a fairly straight angle of entry through the mademoiselle's back. The shooter was probably standing right behind the victim. What's the bullet size? You know, its caliber? Let me guess, you're hoping that the caliber of the bullet is different to the caliber of the inspector's gun. That would conveniently get that one-eyed police officer off the hook, wouldn't it? But I'm afraid I can't help you. I can't possibly know a bullet's caliber without having a good look at the bullet itself. And as you can plainly see, the bullet is 3 centimeters deep in flesh. So you need to see the bullet itself. Help me retrieve the bullet, Fontaine. Retrieve? You mean take it out? I assume you have a little more experience in this area than I do. Well, you're not wrong there. Fine. This will only take a moment. Oh! There you go. One used bullet. It looks like a standard lead pistol or... it looks like a standard lead rifle or pistol ball, but I'm afraid I can't tell you its caliber. Why is that? The bullet fragmented upon impact, monsieur. I gathered all the pieces, but I cannot assess its diameter with any accuracy. Still, I would guess that it was 13 to 17 millimeters. Sorry, I couldn't be more specific. That's enormous help, thank you, monsieur. So we get the fragmented bullet. And this handprint. What's this mark? It almost looks like a handprint. A handprint made in blood. Probably in Mademoiselle's. I don't think so. It's the handprint of her left hand on the girl's left shoulder. There's no way a person could comfortably reach that spot on their own back. I suppose so, but if the handprint doesn't belong to the girl, then who does it belong to? The murderer. Has to be. The question on my mind is, why is the handprint made in blood? Did the murderer sully their hand on the girl's gunshot wound, or were they injured prior to the shooting? There's so much to uncover here, and there's no time for a thorough investigation. So we get the bloody handprint. Oh, man. Everyone's been so fixated on who this... Let me read that again. Everyone's been so fixated on who did this that nobody stopped to ask who this girl was. I don't know, monsieur. Given her clothes, she's probably just another working girl. Just another? I didn't mean to sound glib, but it's true. This is one mademoiselle among the thousands who live in Paris. Who was she? Where did she work? Will her family miss her? I don't know. But in the long run, I don't think anybody will care. I care. I can't afford not to. I don't know who this mademoiselle was, but I'm going to see to it that justice is brought about for her death. Well, that's about it. I'm done here. Very good. Let's move this body off the street. Then we must hurry to the Palais Royal. Rest in peace, mademoiselle. I'll see to it that justice is done.
Everything's going just as planned. The Madame's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the Palais Royal, the Prime Minister will flee, and then...
Excuse me, monsieur.
What do you want? I'm busy.
Don't you recognize me, monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little more complex than yours, but I assume you would recognize Prince Juan when you saw him.
You're Prince Juan?
Indeed, and you're Judge Romulus, the corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king. You shot the croque monsieur. And just moments ago, I saw you murder a maiden at the Place de la Concorde. You truly are a vile individual, aren't you?
Yeah. As if you have any proof for any of that stuff. I'm out of here.
I know that you're one half of the Viridian killer.
On any other day, I would cut you where you stand, Fox. But as it happens, I'm a little busy today.
Oh, the Viridian killer is too busy to kill me. Is that the truth, or is that the bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood. What do I do? Oh, hello, Monsieur Vulpes! Monsieur Sparrowson. Perfect timing.
Who now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess it's what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh?
Monsieur Sparrowson, be a dear and help me restrain the Viridian killer.
This guy? He's the Viridian killer? He looks more like Judge Romulus to me.
Well, you would be right about that, too. Why? So he's two scumbags in one. Alright then.
Ow! Mind the wound!
Quit whining, Your Honor. Very nice takedown, Monsieur Sparrowson. You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He is something of a notorious killer, after all. Of course. Let's see what we got here. Aha! Here we are. A pistol. Probably the one used to kill the maiden, I suspect. What else can you find, Monsieur Sparrowson? This! An eye patch? Where? What does wolf want to do with an eye patch? Oh no. This is bad. Very bad indeed. I don't get it. What's wrong with an eye patch? There's no time to explain. Mouse it! What is it? Take this eye patch to Jayjay Falcon. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere around the Palais Royal right now. Tell him that this belongs to Remus' brother. Hurry now. I must go too. I need to find the other half of the Viridian killer pair before something terrible happens. Why? Monsieur Vulpes, what am I supposed to do with this guy? You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your reward for capturing Judge Romulus. What a strange day. Outside the Palais Royal, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of furniture, branch, rocks, and anything else they can find. From behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and roll guards with chants. I am growing impatient, pig. Confess your crimes.
I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel. You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see each and every one of you hanged for your flagrant disregard of the law.
Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen at Le Hawes. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar has testified to seeing you murder a girl, again completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence. But it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know that you're a killer.
Madame Beaumont, stop! The inspector didn't shoot that mademoiselle.
Keep your beak closed, Falcon. I'm done listening to your suggestions. This policeman is as guilty as every other monster in our decrepit justice system. It's my duty to execute him. Madame, Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend that you hear him out. Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I can convince you of this inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious in a time like this. I can't afford it. What if you're wrong? Are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madame.
Having my life saved by the Viridian killer. How humiliating.
Quiet, pig. Your life is mine until I say otherwise. Okay, so first of all, let's recap on what Friar Remus had to say. Wait, where is that friar? He's a key witness to this crime.
I got put off as soon as he dropped the inspector off. Say he had some business to attend to.
Business?
Oh man, that case looking pretty scary. But it must have here, I'm the brain duct. I am the great Elizabeth. Handsome, talented, strong, truly affairs here will be run for.
Hello, officer.
Ah, you scared me, Monsieur, Monk.
Friar, actually. Friar Remus.
Oh, fair. But I prefer saying friar.
Listen, officer, I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp and I overheard a conversation.
Oh, this sounds good. Do go on.
They said they were going to launch an assault very soon, and when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on the palace.
Oh no, it's just how I feel. What do we do? What do we do?
It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Hit them with everything you've got. Every cannon, every rifle, every piece of artillery. Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. That is the only way you can be sure to survive.
Ah! Colonization! I like it! But Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian?
Yes, so what? He's one of the types that put all Christians, that give all Christians a bad name.
I don't know, it just seems that your idea doesn't seem very Christian-y.
I see. You think this is a moral show. Let me tell you a secret, my dearest duck friend. There is no God. No overarching morality or higher plan. No heaven to save the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. Oh, so you're an atheist then. Okay. There's only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on Peking duck tonight. Understand?
Oh, that's an awful lot to take in.
Then let me simplify. It's you or them.
It's me or them.
Forget about the fire, Falcon. We all remember what he had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall. Okay, I will. But you may want to wipe that mouse off your shoulder first. Sorry, what? Oh, it's you, mouse.
What's your Falcon? What's your Falcon? Special delivery from Renard Reviews.
Thank you, Mousy. What is this?
Renard eye patch. It was found on Remus's brother Calvin.
Remus Plummer. This is an eye patch belonging to George Romulus. That's interesting. Where's Romulus?
It's not time, monsieur. Just take it. Take it.
We get the eye patch.
I don't know, monsieur. But you have to do your best. Monsieur from Hansen Sparrowson believes in you.
Sparrowson? You've seen Sparrowson? How is he?
It's not time, monsieur. Good luck.
Are you quite done, Falcon? Very much so. Let's begin this trial. Okay, so let's remember what the friar said. The mademoiselle was approaching the police line with his hands in the air, when all of a sudden the brute of the police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through the chest. Friar Remus claimed that the girl was shot point blank in the chest. She was shot in the back. The girl was clearly shot in the back. I know. I remember seeing the bullet wound for myself. But that's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony. It is an inaccuracy, but it is an irrelevant inaccuracy. Does it really matter if the girl was shot in the front or the back? Either way, a girl died at this pig's hands. It does matter. It does matter. If the girl was shot from the front, then this might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if she was shot in the back, then what? This could indicate that someone targeted and assassinated her before she could even react. But that doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon. Madame, you're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the currently established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthily professional attack. Therefore, this was not an ordinary police confrontation. You've made an assumption, Falcon. You've assumed that, just because the girl was shot in the back, she must have been stealthily killed. There are other possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared by the police, started running away, and was shot in the back as she fled. That scenario is impossible. If the girl were running away, then she would have been at least a couple of steps away from the killer at the time of the shooting, right? Right. But I know that the killer was standing right behind the victim. They were less than 1 meter apart when the gun was fired. They were standing that close? How could you possibly know that, Falcon? Right there. We saw a bloodied handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madame? Well, I assume any blood stain would belong to the victim. A mark with the girl's dying breath, perhaps. No, it was the print of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder, near her upper back. The angle and positioning of the print indicate that it could only have been caused by another person. That's why I'm so certain that the killer was right behind the girl at the time of the attack. I see. That's quite a theory. But Falcon, you've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint? I can't even say handprint. But Falcon, you've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood, yes, so it can't possibly have been made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hand on the girl's clothing after she had already died. And if that's the case, then my suggested scenario is still possible. The girl may have been running from the police when she was shot. No, I'm still trying to work out the details. But I know that the print was made prior to the shooting. Maybe the shooter was injured and his hand was already covered in blood. You talk big about breaking the established narrative, and now you present me with that baseless drivel. Well, where do we go from here? How does this handprint nonsense really affect the situation? Do you find something funny about the situation, Inspector? I do. This whole trial is patently absurd. It's an animal caught through and through. But there was something particularly funny about that last exchange. You were both so focused on when and how this handprint was made that you missed the larger issue. I have a left hand, you idiots! I couldn't possibly left that mark! Oh, right, of course. Well, madame, what do you say to that? Maybe the handprint came from an accomplice, or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident, or it feels good to see someone else speculating wildly for a change. Okay, fine, I don't have a solid explanation. I must concede that it's possible, maybe even likely, that the person who left that mark was the murderer. Therefore, as it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot the girl. So that's it. The inspector is off the hook. No, there's still the matter of the incident in the halls. What incident is this? I know nothing about it. Ha! As if you didn't know. A beggar rat was shot and killed in the halls a few days ago. The attacker was described as a scowling police officer who wore an eye patch. Sound familiar to you? Go on, Falcon. Explain the pig out of this one. Until 5 minutes ago, I was at a loss. But I was recently presented with a piece of evidence that makes the answer all too clear. This was a false flag operation. False flag? Explain yourself, Falcon. This eye patch. Madame, what do you know about Remus' twin brother, the man known as Romulus? Not much. Only that he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government around a month ago. That's half truth, madame. You see, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police. But I've had a suspicion that the wolf was lurking in Paris itself, although I've never managed to find definitive proof of this. Anyway, it turns out that my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended. I think. You think? I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus' person. I read that wrong. What's important is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus' person just moments ago. An eye patch. Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There's only one plausible explanation. It's part of a disguise. Something to conceal his identity and make him appear as someone else. Disguise? You're saying that Romulus shot the beggar rat just to frame this police inspector? Exactly, madame. It's no coincidence that Frere Remus happened to find the very same inspector just as another murder occurred today. So, Remus was in on it. So, Remus was in on it too. Two wolves working together to make this policeman look like a murderer. But why? Why would they do that? To rile you up, madame. To make you lust for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I would say that they succeeded. Damn. I've been so stupid. How did I let myself get so misled by a couple of wolves? This trial's over. Go, Inspector. You're free.
It's about time. Go wetting in what, Mom?
Of course. 'Twould be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary, even if the man has a bitter, stubborn peak.
Falcon! Yes? I don't understand you. You're stupid, you're reckless, but you fought big and talent for my freedom.
I'm starting to suspect that you really aren't the Viridian killer at all. Certainly took a long time to pass that fact through your thick skull. Inspector, if you're not hunting that villain, maybe you should speak with Reynald Volpez. When this is all over, I mean. I hear he's been doing research into the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something. Maybe I will. Madame, it appears that your gang of rebel filth don't intend on insulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay that information to the artillerymen. Maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff going until this blows over. Thank you, I appreciate that.
All of you, stay out of trouble. So, what happens now, Mom?
We're going to continue our protest peacefully. We're going to stand here, chanting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step down out of sheer humiliation. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one more person being harmed, then, well, look who returned.
Madame, I just saw the police inspector strolling out of here unharmed. Why did you let him go?
That's simple, Remus. We all had a discussion. And we came to the conclusion that I have been misled by a couple of wolves. How many lives have you fed me, Friar? Just how much damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in the halls? Did you watch the girl die by the Place de la Concorde? Now that I think about it, even the Monsieur's death was surrounded by details that made little sense. I don't know what to think anymore.
You know that this guy's a scumbag, at least, Mom. I say shooting.
Pierre's right. We won't judge you for killing this man, Madame.
It's the least I deserve for my sins. Go ahead, Madame. What are you waiting for?
Pull the trigger! Do it!
Falcon, you've proven yourself as having clear judgment. What do you say?
I could say mercy, but after all the bullshit he's been spouting, shoot his ass.
Some people aren't worth saving, Madame.
And
you're right.
oh, that was a good shot! Really close to you! I can't afford to hesitate. It's me and them! Officer, hold your fire. Yeah, wait, I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them!
It's me or them.
Fire me, cannon!
And so it happened. The revolution has started. Supposedly, it was supposed to be peaceful, but then again, well, it didn't turn out the way it was expected. Because the damage, indeed, was done. Because all it was needed was somebody weak to actually start the whole mess. And that one guy, that one general, was all that was needed to really start. Because all he needed to do was give in to the fear of getting killed and the rule of kill or be killed. So, that's what happened.
Can anyone hear me? Pierre? Fontaine? Hello? Anyone?
I'm here, madame.
Falcon? Of all the people. I think I made a mistake, Falcon. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I pulled the trigger just now? Or was it earlier when I shot that prosecutor? Or was it earlier still when I first listened to that monstrous fire in the first place? I've made a lot of mistakes.
We've all made mistakes, madame.
Most people's mistakes don't spark bloody revolutions.
Can you move, madame?
I don't think so.
Give me a minute. I think I can clear some of the rubble. And this leads to this.
Dear Monsieur Lopez. Dear Monsieur Lopez, I'm writing to you from the Demel Railway Express. Modern technology truly is amazing. I've decided to take your advice and go on vacation till things settle down. The King fleeing to Britain, Second Republic taking over, it's all crazy stuff. Anyway, before I left, you asked if I knew what happened to Falcon. Well, I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says that Falcon died during the attack on the barricade. But it also says that the police didn't find the body, same as Leonie Belmont. You know, rumor is that he was probably blown away by cannon fire, but that doesn't sound right to me. The Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive. I think he found a way to escape and survive. So in my opinion, he's still out there. He's possible, isn't he? Anyway, I should wrap this letter up because I'm about to reach my stop. Vienna. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle Signe and her parents are doing. Maybe you should come and pay them a visit sometime? Send my regards to Mousy. Yours sincerely, Sparrowson. P.S. I see a person selling Mistral strudel. What is it? What is it? P.P.S. Delicious, that's what.
And this game was done by Sketchy Logic, and this is, of course, the bad ending of the game. And the artwork, I had to say, by Jayjay Granville, and the music by Camille Saint-Saëns. Beautiful. Wonderful. So, again, like I said, this was the bad ending of the game. Why? Because it leaves a whole lot of things unanswered, like, did Falcon really die? And you know, what of the fate of Leonie Beaumont? So, you know, really, it just all comes down on what happened. yeah, that was the bad ending. You've reached the end of the Route C Fraternite. The ending you received was determined by the decision you made in Chapter 3. Try tackling the catacombs differently in order to see a different ending. Thank you for playing Aviary Attorney. So, since we did all that, and since we got both, and since we got the other routes, the next one I am going to do, as we come across the very conclusion to this Let's Play, will be, namely, Case A. 4A, I should say. So, join me next time when we do the neutral ending to Aviary Attorney. Stay tuned for the next part.